Hey man, what are you doing?
Oh, just cleaning my rock.
Sometime before I was born, everyone had a pet rock. I think, at least. I don't know, I just thought it'd be funny to make a game about a rock. First, we need to make a Unity project. And then I realized I made it in the wrong version, so we had to remake a Unity project. But now that the project's ready, it's time to get rockin'. Yes, I did make this whole video for that one joke, and maybe this was meant to come out in April Fool's, but I got a little too attached to the project and started working on it some more, and also had other things going on, but anyway. Alright, so we need a couple rocks. Luckily for you, I'm an expert 3D modeler. So making a couple of rocks, it's no big thing. Bam, just like that. And now I'll walk you through my patented design process. Basically, you get a square, and then you subdivide it a bit, then you tweak each one of the vertices until it looks like a rock. And for this one, I gave it an extra loop cut so we could get a long snout look. But now that we've got some rocks, we need some epic gameplay. Now, I don't know what you guys do with rocks. No, seriously. What do you guys do with rocks? They just sit there, right? It's not like you can really do anything with them. Right? I'm not going crazy, right? All I can think about is like throwing them or looking at them. And I don't think throwing them would make you a very good pet owner. That's like animal abuse or something. It's research time. So, it looks like there's a couple things we can do with our rocks, and I think I've got an idea for the gameplay. First, we need to pick a rock. We just need some dirt and a way to let the player click and select what rock they want. We'll do this in a similar way that games do a character selector. Yeah, that system is way too complicated. I don't think we're gonna do that. We're just going to save the mesh and material of whatever rock the player selects. We're going to then save that to a static variable, which means that any script can access it. And so whenever we have a scene, the mesh and texture will be applied to the default rock that was sitting there waiting to be personalized. Now, initially, I wanted all the rocks to be randomly generated by the computer, so that each player has a unique rocky experience. And then I realized that was super difficult, so instead, we're just gonna go with some pre-made rocks that the player can choose from. But hey, if this video gets 100 likes, I'll do a part 2. I'll even give the rocks googly eyes. Just keep that in mind. But what about the UI? Basically, we're just gonna have the player click on a rock, have it come close to the screen, and then have a button that allows them to select that rock as their own. Now, you may have noticed, currently I just click on this tick and it'll move towards the position. This is because I haven't set up a raycast system to draw a line from the mouse to the game world, and see which rock piques the player's interest. You may have also noticed they're just squares. Maybe the script was written before the game was made, and all of this is out of order. Who knows? Anyway, this clicking simulator rocks. Next, our rock is dirty, so we're gonna need to wash it. The guides recommend we give it a bath. I'm thinking we do something similar to Power Washer Simulator, where you click and wherever you click, that place gets cleaned. Now, we can achieve this effect using the same concept of how image editing works, except you shoot a raycast first to get the UV position. And you edit that part of the texture, or rather, you only edit a grayscale mask that separates the two shader branches if conditions. Both the rust and the metal look can be achieved with the PBR material, or you can just use two materials separated by that mask. There's no reason to duplicate geometry. That would just cause flickering when seen from a distance and floating bits when seen from up close, assuming the hull was slightly extruded along the surface normal. It would also double the triangle count, which for a complex model taking up 800,000 plus triangles, it would mean you can only place a handful of them in the scene before it tanks performance. Did you understand any of that? Yeah, neither. We're just gonna make it so the player can click and drag wherever, and that'll just clean the whole rock at once. This is achieved by saving the location of the mouse when the player clicks, then as it moves, it checks the distance it moves and then removes that value from the dirtiness of the rock. And by applying a simple filter over the rock's texture that changes color, we can slowly change its color to be clean. Okay, so we've got a nice clean rock. It's time for some activities. Make a potpourri for your rock to smell? I really don't want to make a cooking game. So here's the pitch. How about instead of doing things in the game acts as like a real pet rock would. Meaning it does nothing. You can just look at the pet rock on the screen and the player has to use the real world to satisfy that rock. And satisfaction is based on how the rock looks, which obviously the look of the rock doesn't change, and so it's up to the player's interpretation. And so we can just make no gameplay. I can finish the game. So if the player wants the rock to smell a potpourri, they can just make it in real life. Alright, time to do a mobile port so you can take your rock wherever you want. This is going to be tricky, so I'm going to need to plug in. Yeah, that really wasn't that tricky. But now I've got rocks on my phone. So let's spend some time with him. Hey, if you made it this far into the video, thanks. Go reward your attention span by watching some Subway Surfers clips with Family Guy funnies over the top. Or you can watch one of my other videos. This is a new kind of style for me, so if you like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe, comment, share, summon 3 halflings to watch this video on your behalf on loop. Anyway, cheers.